You get the topic started, and then I'll jump.
Topics.
Well, whatever you want to talk about. I don't care.
Where's my ball? There's my ball. I only have one. I lost the other one in Nam.
That's what you said, Jay.
I lost the other one in Nam.
In Nam. In the
All
Nang.
right. I'm fairly certain that we are live. I better actually turn down the other things. I'm gonna need you to tell me if we're live, good sir.
Oh, here, let me just head on over and take a look at that for you.
Well, it says we're streaming and we're 20 seconds in, but I never know. I
mean, I'm always streaming.
Remember, we are at the mercy of Google. Now I just have staticky error has occurred on the screen. That's not supposed to happen.
Hold on here. Let's see what we got now. All right. It says live now. Hold on. Oh, we're there. We're there. It's happening, Jay.
Yay.
It's happening.
Well, all of a sudden your camera got like incredibly out of sync with your voice.
Oh, really? Shouldn't do that.
There. I think that's normal. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna roll that there intro thing.
Do it.
TikTok has an official Twitter. Oh yeah.
Go follow TikTok. But
it's kind of funny because I was trying to find a Twitter account that we could use, and of course there's like 86 million different variations of TikTok already being used on Twitter. So initially the account was hashtag TikTok. Like that's what I called it, hashtag TikTok. But then I thought, do you know how many people are going to do hashtag TikTok and wonder why
they did too. They did. That was like a flooded term.
Yeah, so I just made it Tech Talk Weekly. So guys, because Jerry and I for the last several weeks have been bombarded with a ton of messages. Where's TikTok? Where's TikTok? We miss TikTok. We need our TikTok. We're like, you know what? We need a dedicated feed where you guys can get information about TikTok, separate from our feeds where Jerry and I tend to go off on rambles and rants and all sorts of other ADD type of postings.
Yep. And just for the record, we can both post there. So if you see some crazy crap on there, don't just assume it's me. It's more than likely Jay.
No, you can assume it's Jerry for sure. How about this? How about this? We have to sign the Twitter, but we just do like -J for Jay and -J for Jerry. How's that? And then they can just figure that one out.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you be the uppercase? I'll be the lowercase. That can be the determining factor.
Is that like a height joke?
Yes, it was. You're an uppercase kind of human, Jay.
Anyway, I am going to try something here. I have just clicked broadcast. Nope, that didn't work. All right. I was going to...
Dude, the hype you built for that, I was starting to get a tingly sensation. And you're like, nope, that didn't work. Nah.
Well, I was going to do a dual stream this week to Twitch as well for all the people who are like, YouTube is dumb. So apparently my credentials are not up to date right now, so I'm not going to go through all of that. But I think from going forward, maybe into the new year, I'll do a dual stream. I'll put it up to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously at the same time. What do you think?
Good idea. Good idea, Jay.
All right. So if you guys can't tell, it's Christmas time.
It is. Well, they probably can't tell from my feed because I don't have any Christmassy stuff.
Because Jerry hates baby Jesus.
I don't hate baby Jesus.
Yes, you do. If you had baby Jesus in front of you, you would hang him off a balcony like Michael Jackson did to his kid, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, only because I love him so much, though. That's Michael Jackson loved his blanket and wanted to dangle it off a balcony to dry it off. Get the blanket.
That's how I dry it off.
Lols.
Oh, the baby. Oh, okay,
yeah. What do you think I was talking about?
I thought we were talking about other things that need to be dried off.
Oh my God, this is already going to the hole. Oh,
okay, so this is what God, we haven't had Tech Talk in a month, right?
It's been a long time, dude. This feels weird. Like it's been so long, it's weird.
So like you weren't feeling good, and then I was doing something. Oh yeah, I was having a baby.
You were having a baby, and I was struggling. With,
I wasn't having
depression and drugs and alcohol.
Miss J was having
got help. So
Miss J was having the baby, not me. I just want to make that one very clear. My passage is a little narrow to pass the baby through.
You could have passed the baby, no problem.
Probably a little bit too TMI. It's supposed to be Tech Talk.
Oh my God! Here comes the hashtag Jay's Dickle. Jay's a Dickle. I remember that hashtag. We started that literally like months ago, and people still remember it.
Yeah, that was because I started the stream when you were going to the bathroom.
So guys, we got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. That is if North Korea doesn't shut our stream down. So as long as they don't hack YouTube and threaten them, I think we'll probably be all right. What do you think, Jay?
Cyber terrorism.
Cyber terrorism is the new terrorism.
I don't know though, man. I'm surprised they pulled it off. I mean, look at the way their missile launches have gone recently.
I know, haven't they got them like 30, 50 feet downrange? Like
something like that. But they always like accidentally take out their own truck or something. like go up and straight back down.
It's like, I bet it's like an Acme cartoon where it's like the rocket fires and then you see the truck blow out from underneath the missile and the missile doesn't go anywhere. That's what I envision a launch looking like.
I don't know. I just think it's funny that they can't, like the FBI, which is already a pretty terrible anti-cyber crime unit, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on half the time. I think it's funny how like last week they were like, there are no ties to North Korea in the hack, and then today they're like, or yesterday they're like, oh, yeah, actually it was
never
them.
mind, our bad. we forgot to open up that file that was on our desktop. Oh, sorry.
As if you didn't lose all of your credibility in the first 5 minutes of your press conference. Yeah, so anyway, I was really looking forward to seeing the interview because I love Seth Rogen, but if it ever becomes available anywhere, I will be sure to watch it.
And to catch you guys up, Sony did officially announce that they are not releasing the video in any format, digitally or on DVD. They are completely scrapping the project.
That kind of sucks. So what a lot of people don't realize is that there's a lot of the people who work on the movies get paid a contract rate, but they also get a profit share.
Oh yeah, that's like common for all big actors. I'm sure that I'm not even
talking about the actors. I honestly don't care about the actors losing money on this. They're paid up front, right?
You're talking about the people that work on the movie.
I'm talking about people that work on the production crews. Because remember, Sony didn't make the movie. All Sony's going to do is publish it.
Right.
But there's like, there's production companies. There's like, a lot of different contractors that work on these movies that get paid a rate, and then in their deal or in their clause is some sort of a profit share. And if the movie never makes it to the theaters, there's no profit share. Therefore, they take a huge income reduction over what they were expecting to earn because of this kind of stuff. So that's why it's a big deal in my mind. Only that the people who are truly being affected by this in a negative way are a lot of the people who aren't making much on this to begin with.
I mean, I'm wondering if this is like the first time in like recent history that a movie has ever been pulled for something like this. Because I mean, this is obviously going against the whole art and creative freedom thing. I mean, this is freaking horrible. And then plus, did you hear? So I read an article today about a couple of theaters decided that they were going to rebel because they were, they're not a bunch of pussies and they believe in like, the way the U.S. believes, don't negotiate with terrorists. So they're like, screw it, we're going to play Team America World Police, which is like same thing, right? It honestly is. If you look at it compared to like the interview, I mean, it's the same type of movie. Exactly.
Only it was against his dad.
Yeah, it was against his dad, and it was against one of the Kims, one of the godlike leaders of a country that can't launch a rocket 20 feet. But anyways, the thing I don't understand is they were going to play this movie in the theater instead. They're like, okay, on Christmas, fine. We're going to play Team America World Police instead. And Paramount actually stepped forward and actually pulled any rights that they had to be able to do that in the theater and said, no, you guys will not show this because of what's going on with the threats in North Korea and Sony and everything. So it's like, now it's not just Sony, now it's Sony and Paramount's pulling a movie that's already been released. So now what I'm wondering is, now that Team America World Police is on the radar, are they going to go try to get that pulled from like Netflix and all online streaming? Are they going to pull DVDs off shelves now for that? I mean,
the censorship is real. That's the problem here.
I know this is like the most hardcore censorship that I've seen of something like throughout my life. Like I've never seen something like this. This is crazy.
This is crazy. And I don't want to get political on this. I just kind of want to leave it here. But I sort of feel like this is people using the Second Amendment to fight I'm sorry, not Second Amendment. Yeah, we should use the Second Amendment. Sure, why not? No, this is people using the First Amendment to censor the First Amendment. If you think about it.
No, it is because you don't have a government. You have a corporation acting. And so yeah, I guess you could technically say that they're using their freedom, but the thing is they already marketed the movie. They already put the hype out there. They even accepted pre-sale of tickets. Yeah. I mean, it was a done deal. Now, had they done this early on in the project, like, we're not going to finish the movie for whatever reason, then okay, boo-hoo. We're sad. But the reason that people are mad is because of why, not even why they're doing it. If last minute they said, hey, we're pulling the movie because we found out that Seth Rogen was like, murdering people or something, he's in jail.
Different.
Entirely possible. Hey, I love you, Seth. But, hey, sometimes we wonder.
Kind of like Bill Cosby's not going on tour anytime soon.
Exactly. So yeah, the internet ruins everybody. But anyways, you've got this whole situation now where terrorism is the cause of them pulling it down, not their own accord, not their own stupid decision, not because they want to avoid, being viewed differently because of an actor or something that was in the movie that has. No, this is downright. They got threatened and they just basically tucked their tail and they're like, oh my God, they might bomb our theaters if we put this in theaters. We have shootings in theaters and shit all the time. It's not safe. Every time you step outside of your house, you're not guaranteed to be safe.
You're not exactly building up much of a case for America. We have shootings all the time.
That's why we have the right to bear arms, right? Is so that if some guy goes psychotic, you can be the shooter and take him out before he kills everybody else.
I just love the way you're proving your point. We have shootings all the time.
We have shootings all the time. Don't go outside. You'll probably die. No. Now watch, this will somehow get taken out of context to be on like the front page of the news tomorrow.
Somebody's gonna
was taken down for talking
somebody's gonna cut and paste together like some funky sentence, and you're like, I think America is all about shootings outside. We're all going to die.
Death to America. So like, what? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. And they'll even leave the video in there too. My head will be all max headroom. No, but you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just saying that if you allow shit like this to happen, and you allow threats, and the thing is, everybody says, oh, well, let's just play it safe and wait and see if the threat's credible. You don't know if a threat's credible until it actually happens. You just have to assume that it would have been credible.
Well, okay.
Because you don't know, right? Even if it was a stupid hacker that worked at Sony, some irate worker that posed through some North Korean proxy or something. Let's say best case scenario, right? Irate Sony guy did it. That doesn't mean that because that got so circulated and it trended the internet that some psycho isn't going to go do something. I mean, there are no guarantees anywhere. There's no guarantee. That's my whole point. So all you're doing is opening up a huge floodgate for now everybody to come forward and be like, you know what? I don't like this movie that's coming out because it makes fun of my religion. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a phone call. Boop, 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 boop. Yep. Yeah. No, on that day next week. Yeah, no. There's gonna be a bomb there. I'm not giving you any more information than that. Okay?
But
I gotta go. Bye. It doesn't make any sense.
And guys, tell me if my mic sounds a little bit better now. I boosted the levels. It was getting automatically turned down. So apparently, like, they couldn't hear me for a minute there.
You sound sexy. That mic is sexy.
No, anyway, I think what gives the threats a little more credibility was the level of the hack that happened prior to that. So everyone was like, "Oh my God, we're scared now." I don't know. It's kind of like a domino effect, no matter which way you look at it, though, right? If you say screw it, we're going to air it anyway, and something does happen. So either way, the situation kind of turned into a volatile situation now, where either way, something negative is happening, is going to happen, and will happen again because of this.
But my whole point is, like, if you got to wreck into a tree or wreck into a fence, just wreck into whatever you're already heading towards, right? Don't go changing course, because that just causes more problems and more thinking, and I just. It's one of those things. The core of my argument isn't even against like Sony or anything like that. The core of my argument is that
you die in America.
Negotiation. There should never be a negotiation with terrorism. Shut up, dude. Not everybody's gonna die when they walk out their front door. That was an exaggeration. I walked outside of my front door this morning and I was just fine. But
you were wearing your bulletproof vest.
I was not wearing a bulletproof vest because I trust in my neighborhood. But it's just this whole thing has really, really pissed me off because it's just something that's kind of unprecedented. There's been threats before. I remember Matt Stone and Trey Parker. Somebody was just mentioning this in chat a little while ago. They get threatened all the time with death threats because of their videos. They got a massive amount of death threats. So many, in fact, that they actually pulled an episode. Remember which episode? What?
We get death threats.
That's true. We even get death threats like pretty regularly, but
we're nobodies in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. So And the way I responded is somebody used that yesterday against me when they were on Facebook. They're like, well, Jerry, let me give you a situation. What if NVIDIA sent you a video card to review and then AMD called you next week and said, if you post that video, we're going to blow your house up with your family inside. And I told them exactly what I do because I do get shit like that all the time. I'm like, I give it to the cops, I send it to the FBI, they open a case, and then I go about my business.
On my gun video, my AR-15 video, someone was like, "Oh, awesome! Now you can put that in your mouth and pull the trigger." And I was like, "Okay, I did, but there was no bullets in it, so it didn't really accomplish anything."
Yeah, they don't work very well unless you put bullets in them. I found that out a long time ago.
What's your PO box?
279 in Duval, Washington 98019.
Now you guys know if you do mail him poop, he will do a review on it.
Reviewing poops. Hey, if I get a poop from an upstanding site, I'll review that sucker. I'll be like, this smells like it's got hints of chicken, horse. Jay,
if my forehead looks like it's turning a little red from this hat, I think I'm having an allergic reaction and I'm dying. Just saying.
Sorry, just have an EpiPen handy. That's what I do. EpiPens are life. I think I have one. Here, hold on. Where's one?
Just have them handy. I think
I always keep one within reach. Always.
What? Okay. What is that? Is that just like nature's anti-everything pen?
Yeah, it's basically just it's kind of like adrenaline. It's like synthetic adrenaline.
That's perfect. So when you go outside and get shot, you just plug that in.
Yeah, it only lasts for 8 to 10 minutes though, so it's just to buy enough time.
So
for
it's like the movie
ambulance
Crank.
to get here. Pretty much. Except for you can pretty much stick it anywhere where you have fatty tissue, so you can stick it like in your thigh or in
Anywhere in our body.
Anywhere. As soon as that came out of my mouth, I knew you were going to say something like that. So I can put it in fatty tissue. I can basically stick it in my eyeball and it would work. Oh my God.
I think today I'm going to go with armpit.
Ooh,
I'm going to get the left moob today.
oh my God, dude. So wrong.
Well, you know, another speaking of cyber terrorism or cyber bullying or just cyber sales, I don't know what I was segueing to with cyber sales, but you know, what about this Lizard Squad thing, man? Did you look into that link I sent you?
I did. I went and looked at that. I was like, I hope this
Spy
is
versus
true.
spy.
Is it confirmed? Like, is it actually confirmed?
I haven't been able to dig deep enough to confirm, but if anyone in the chat can actually, I guess you would have to tweet or email us an article confirming whether or not Lizard Squad really did get taken down by the is another hacker group,
Freedom Squad.
Freedom Squad, which is funny because I don't know, are they like the Robin Hoods of cyberspace or what?
Apparently, that's what they're saying. Is this was like uncharacteristic of them? Like nobody was expecting Freedom Squad to like go try to mop up the competition, but they did.
I don't know. With a name like Freedom Squad, though, you would kind of expect something America.
Freedom. But yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, Lizard Squad are the ones that are credited with taking down like Sony's PSN and Xbox Live and large services like that for huge periods of time.
Lizard Squad didn't take down PSN. Freedom Squad was supposedly this, as I understood it, Freedom Squad was the group that actually took down the PSN a couple years back, like the major hack. And then the Lizard Squad's been the one taking. I read
that article you sent me. I could have swore it said Freedom Squad said that they were fighting to keep Xbox Live online, PSN online, and Steam online. They were opposed to any hackers that were touching any of those platforms.
Okay, then correct me if I'm wrong, but the bottom line was I know Lizard Squad lately has been really hitting WoW, Blizzard servers. They've been hitting EA hard. And basically, I mean, the arrogance on their Twitter was actually... I mean, sometimes, like, some of the things Anonymous does is really funny, like when they hacked the KKK's account and then started publicly leaking all of the clan member info. That was actually
those hacks I love. Like when they went after Westboro Baptist Church and they leaked everybody. He's like, they doxed, like, everybody in the church and, like, put it up on a site.
Yeah.
And then the best one was when Westboro Baptist Church was actually on a live stream. I can't remember. They were live streaming and some news telecast. And they're like, well, what do you think about the threats from Anonymous that they're going to take down your website or whatever? And she's like, oh, we don't care about Anonymous. They can't do anything to us because, you know, we got this and we got that. And then literally it's like, they're like, oh, the site's down. The site's not responding. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got stuff coming in. Oh, the site's not responding. And they literally right there while she was on the air took their site down. And so I thought that was actually really funny. And I think they kept it down for like a day or two, but then they popped back up somehow.
Oh, they took down the KKK's Twitter like entirely. Because what's funny is, let's say you're Twitter's customer service and you get this phone call like, our account's been compromised. We need help getting it back. And you're like, okay, what's your Twitter handle? The Ku Klux Klan. So how quickly are they going to help you?
Oh my God, I can just see that call. It's like they call support. Oh, hello. Thank you for calling Twitter. Jerome here.
Hi,
I'm
Jerome.
Calling from the K.
Jerome, I'm calling.
I'm going to have to forward you to our cybersecurity department. Hold on.
Tyrone here.
Local police department. Oh my God.
Office of Obama.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't see that going any wronger.
I don't think they moved very quickly on that. And then I think the account was taken down completely because it actually was considered a hate account, like an abusive account. So Twitter was just like, oh, we'll just nip this one in the bud and get rid of it.
How would the Westboro Baptist Church call? Would it be like, do, 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 do. Hi, thank you for calling Twitter. What can we do? Hi, we're the Westboro Baptist Church. Can you bring our site back on? Hold on 1 second. Let me transfer you. Thank you for calling the VFW Veterans of America. What can we do for you?
Oh, man. Some of the irony that's been going on this year. I mean, 2014 has been a pretty interesting year.
Interesting is a good word for it. It's.
And speaking of which, I'm looking at the calendar right now. So, you guys, just so you know, this is the last Tech Talk of the year. So we might as well do like maybe a kind of a little year-end thing right now. We just talk about our favorite moments. I know we're going to do that with I Am Apropos stream as well for New Year's. I think you're doing it pre-recorded, right?
Yes.
But next Thursday is Christmas. And if you guys don't celebrate Christmas, well, we do, and we're not going to be doing any live streaming that day. And then the Thursday after that is New Year's. I'll be hanging out with I Am Apropos on his live stream, probably getting a little bit tipsy like I did last year. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember, Arnold actually made an appearance and was playing with Barbie dolls.
We need another tipsy live stream.
And
was that the one where you called me and left a message on my phone as a Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
I remember that, dude. You were so hammered.
And then it was on live stream though when I called it.
Schwarzenegger. And you said something like really funny that didn't make any sense, and then you just said bye and hung up. I was like, what the hell?
And then the week after that, I will be at CES. And I'm going to be doing a live stream from CES. Now, a couple years back, I did Tech Talk. One of the first Tech Talks I ever did was live on like the showroom floor. So I might end up doing that again. I know Jerry wants to remote in. I've got to coordinate that. Last time I used a cellular hotspot, and it worked really well, but you never know how reliable that's going to be. So I might have to see if I can talk Jerry into hosting that one and letting me call into him.
I might have to host that one because I know during CES bandwidth, like cellular bandwidth, is like really screwed up.
Well, I know Verizon, which is who I have, brings in like 6 mobile cell towers, and they place them throughout the property. Big giant like semi-trailers that are mobile towers, right, for data, LTE, and for voice. So I had like 25 megabit on my cell phone inside the convention center when I did that stream, but that was 2 years ago. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, you never know what to expect. But it was kind of neat to have the CES showroom floor as my backdrop. I just went into one of those little charging stations, and I was like, okay, laptop, microphone, headphones. I set up like an entire like mobile streaming center in like one of those little like cell phone like charging stations. I just took over the thing. People didn't like
you
me,
need to just start grabbing people too, like when they're walking by, be like, oh, hey, you want to be on Tech Talk?
No, here's what I need to do.
Your radio voice and be like, hello, would you like to be on Tech Talk right now, live on the internet?
Well, no, here's what we do. Maybe I'll consider doing this. I take my laptop, right, put it in the backpack, have it hooked up to the cell phone in the backpack, and then I could have like one of those extension arms, like with the webcam. And then I can have my wireless mic, and I'm walking around the freaking showroom floor, just like randomly going up to people and being like, you know, whatever. I don't know. I want to do something creative and fun, but either way, it's CES live streams are always pretty interesting.
I think mobile Tech Talk would be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I think if you could find a way to actually be mobile while you're doing it, that would be like crazy awesome.
The only issue is battery life on a streaming computer while not plugged in.
That's true. That's true.
And you know those massive those massive like external batteries don't exactly power laptops. So
no, they do not. Although I do have one coming that can start a car. Have you seen those yet?
No.
Yeah, they make little you know those little packs you use for like charging your phone.
Mm-hmm.
They make 14,000 mAh ones now where they align the batteries so you can do a 400 amp draw.
Okay, it's way too hot.
Yeah, so basically it can oh, your head.
Yes. No, that's about your
but
battery.
the battery too. It's like you can start your car, I think, like 3 times, and it drains the battery pack. Like a 14,000 mAh battery pack can only start your car like 3 times, but they can actually draw enough current to start a car. That's awesome.
I'll just get like 1,000-foot extension cord. They won't mind. I'm all winding that thing through
You're
all
just
the booths.
tripping people. You go left, you go right. People are just going down.
Pull out the slack and watch like a row of people fall.
It's for Tech Talk.
You know what? Since we're doing this right now, I want to address something. Now, people have noticed my hair looks really freaking weird. Now, I want to actually. It was actually kind of funny. At the end of one of my videos, I was like, "Let's go ahead and do an appropriate list of reasons why Jay's hair is all fucked up in the front." And I had some really interesting ones. And basically, a rumor mill started that apparently I got hair plugs. So people think I went and paid to get hair plugs. Guys, it's nothing as fun and as extravagant as having hair plugs. It's nothing more than the fact that this side of my hair grows really thick and this side grows thin, so I shave it. Well, when the baby was born, I was sitting on the toilet, I was half asleep, and I accidentally shaved off an entire inch of my forehead. So now I've got a choice. I either go full Paul's Hardware and buzz the whole thing and look silly, or I just keep this little funkiness growing in the front and keep people talking and look silly. So
or just keep feeding the hair plug story. I like option 3.
I mean, look at that. It's all like
It does kind of look like it though. Like I can see where people were coming from. It does look like you just got like some pubes transplanted.
it's a forehead goatee. Damn it!
Dude, you need to put some gel in it and just do the comb forward thing where it's just all laying
no.
flat.
My hair goes backward naturally, so when I put gel in and I try and comb it forward, I get like these crazy spikes that stick straight out, and then it's like these little things right here. I don't know, they clump together and it looks just like hair plugs. But guys,
I could just see you half asleep on the toilet. Oh, that sounded like a lot more hair than I wanted.
No, I'm not even kidding. I have a special trimmer I use just to trim my forehead. Now my forehead's actually growing. My hair's growing down my forehead. It's not receding. It's going down. I have a freakishly thick head of hair. And I don't even care about like hairdos and stuff. I just put gel in my hair, I rub my hands in it, and then I do the video. So people are always like, your hair is so freakishly like manicured. I'm like, I don't do anything to it. Except try and keep it from growing down this side too far. Now, when I was sitting on the toilet, it was 3:30 in the morning the night Mini Jay was born. And I couldn't reach the beard trimmer thing I used. So I just grabbed the razor blade.
Oh, man.
Now, I was like, okay, if we just do this really gentle. Now, you know how you're really tired and sometimes you just don't have fine motor movement control?
Oh, yeah.
I
like when you try
basically
to cut your hair drunk, basically the same thing.
Basically, all I heard was and I looked down at the razor and I saw a tongue of long hair. I was like, oh, no. I was a little dedicated at that point.
My best haircut story I got is when I wanted my wife to trim up the back of my hair because it gets really long in the back, so I wanted to square it off. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, hey, can you square it off? And I hand her the razor and I hear her back there and she's like, and then she looks at it and she's like, oh, it's crooked. Nope, still crooked here. I gotta take a little more. I'm like, I feel it slowly creeping up my neck, right? And I'm like, what the hell is she doing? And then she starts kind of laughing. She starts giggling and stuff, and she looks really nervous. And so she's like, it's still kind of crooked. So then I hand her a comb, and she's like, okay, well, that looks better. And then she starts cracking up laughing. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I grab the mirror, and I look, and no kidding, she cut it up in the back, level with the middle of my ear. I looked like a monk. It was completely, like, it looked like I had one of those old, like, bowl haircuts, where it was like completely cut off the back. So then I basically just had to go in and like get them to shave off all my hair and let it all grow back. Yeah, it looks so bad.
A couple of things you never want to see when someone's standing in front of you measuring your haircut is when they're like,
how do I fix that?
I've seen that before.
But it was just funny because it's like, you're not used to anybody cutting your hair but your barber or whatever. So usually when they're around the back of your head, you just ignore them. And it's like, it wasn't until she started giggling that I'm like, wow, you're getting up there kind of high on my neck. Like, that doesn't feel like where my hairline should be. And it wasn't until she about pissed her pants and left the room that I was like, oh, shit, this is going to be bad, isn't it?
Well,
she seriously apologized for like a month. It was so funny.
I'm going to look like a jarhead come January because after about, I don't know, 25 more days of letting this grow out, I'm going to get a regular haircut that kind of evens it in. So it's going to look I'm going to look really silly. I just have to deal with it.
Yourself a little military haircut.
I should just buzz my head in the name of cancer.
You should.
I actually know some people going through cancer. I know that kind of sucks.
I do too, unfortunately.
People are saying we need to start calling this hair talk. You know what? This is Jay and Jerry talk about whatever we want. If you don't like it, then tough.
Yeah, we only call it Tech Talk to lure you in here. That's it.
We use technology to bring you the stream. Damn it.
Yeah, it's called Tech Talk because we're using webcams and microphones. What, did you think it was about the topic of the show? Come on.
We should try and do this one day with just a Canon string and see how well it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't. It won't because they don't have encoders and shit.
Exactly my point.
Oh my god, dude. Wow, we got 369 followers on the official Tech Talk Weekly on Twitter.
Bubble Manpie is really like demanding that you talk about the new Robo, but he also at the same time was like bitching about us talking about hair. So I say you don't talk about the Robo. How's that?
Well, I'm not going to talk about the Robo because I want to save it for the video next week.
Good.
Yeah, right. It is coming out of the box, guys. I can tell you that much. It is going to come out of that cardboard box. It's a sexy cardboard box, but it's coming out of there.
It's good. It's good to hear. Good to hear.
And the Bitcoin video is still coming. It was supposed to be out like last week, but dude, sometimes you just got to take a break, man. I've been going through depression. I've been going through stress. I've been going through just being dark outside and cold and just everything piling on the holidays. And it finally just hit me. I was like, fuck it.
Are you ready?
A couple days off.
Are you ready for this with the baby being born and all? I had a deadline of the 22nd that I needed to have a review done. And now I've got to bust ass this weekend to get it done because it's that guy right there.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. There's a big chunk of money sitting right there.
I have the only one in America, except for
That's
the
the only one?
except for the Newegg inventory, which no one's purchased one yet.
What's the retail on that bad boy?
$3,000. Yeah, but
You
yeah,
don't have it.
I'm not keeping it. I'm giving it back. But yeah, it's I mean, it's not a hard review to do. It just takes time because I had to build a system to do the review.
Yeah.
So,
For me, the cryptocurrency stuff, I tried shooting the review and I just didn't like how it turned out. So I wanted a couple days of rest first because it's one of those things where it's a really complicated, it's a really simple concept, but very, very complicated if you go too deep in it. So it was one of those things where it's like I wanted to learn it all.
Go too deep.
And I dug the rabbit hole and I went down and I have like a PhD in cryptocurrency now. And now when I shoot the video, it's like I have a really hard time relaying that data because it's too low level. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want to have an entire video that's an hour and a half long where I'm talking about how like cryptographic hash algorithms work and stuff like that.
Now
prediction, and I don't want to do that.
Now Bubble Man Pie is demanding we talk about hair again. I cannot make this guy happy.
Bubble Man Pie, you need to just calm your tits, okay, bro? Just calm them. Look down and be like, "Woo, calm down." That's all you got to do.
You need to do a tutorial on how to calm your tits.
I'm going to. Coming soon, Jerry Rigged. How to calm your tits.
People are asking about my new mic. This is the mono price. Now, here's the thing. Mono price, you get is like, I don't know. I don't know exactly how I would describe them. I guess they would just be almost like a knockoff brand of everything in a sense. But
they're what do they call them? Redistributor, basically, of technology in countries that wouldn't otherwise come to the United States.
Microphones come to the United States, but anyway,
well, they do, but not that specific one.
So the name of this thing is large diaphragm condenser mic. There's no name.
Holy shit! They called it what it is. That almost never happens anymore.
Anyway,
that's like, what type of microphone you got? I don't know. It's an Audio Technica A2020 going through an R2 amp MP. Like, the fuck? It's like, no, that thing's called the USB large diaphragm. No, is that actually, that's an XLR though, right?
You do see the big XLR cable coming right off the top of it, right?
Well, yeah, but I know that Chinese companies like to make things look like they're not supposed to. And for all I know, there's a USB dongle on the end of that. I don't know.
No, this is
nothing against China. They make everything in my house. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have a house if it wasn't for China.
It's going into my Alesis multi-mix, which is only a $50 or a $60 amp.
Ooh, Alesis.
But I think it sounds good. I mean, when I did the recordings earlier for I Am Apropos, I couldn't think of any other way to do a mic test for him, so I just kind of came up with that randomness. But I think it sounds really good, and it's got like a built-in pop filter on it.
I think it actually sounds great. I mean, considering the price. What did you say it was like $70?
$77. But remember, you have to have a preamp. So there's also
but A2020 without a preamp still over $100.
And it sounds better than any USB mic is going to in terms of having a preamp means you can kind of tune the tones and stuff.
Here, choke up on that sucker and give me your best radio voice. Let's hear this.
Well, if I do, it's going to get very loud.
That's okay. Just speak quieter.
What should I say?
Let's go. That's all I got to do. Just like that.
Today on Tech Talk, Jay and Jerry are going to talk about hair and hairlines and how to completely jack it up. So stay tuned for Tech Talk at 8 p.m. on Thursdays.
You were clipping quite a bit.
I told you.
It's that sensitive.
Well,
when I get up on mine, I can be like,
no.
How's it going, guys? Do you like it when I talk to my microphone like this? Oh,
it's tuned. Yeah. It's tuned for the distance I'm sitting away from it right now. No, the amp I have does not have like a peaking filter on it or a little peaking limiter on it.
It doesn't have a voyeuristic filter? Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't have a limiter on it.
See what I did there? Because
peaking? But I could do this. I could do low pass. Now I probably sound a little bit more flat.
Oh, yeah. That took like all the bass out of you.
Now I can get a little bit closer to the microphone.
We can only dream of being flat, brother.
All right.
We can only dream of being flat.
Oh, and there's also a minus 10 dB. You want to hear clipping?
Yeah.
Now we're clipping.
Yeah.
Clip. Clip.
No, go back to negative 10. That's horrible.
Yes, I know.
Okay. But it is a good sign on a mic for the price. And it looks like it has quite a sophisticated looking shock mount, too.
Works pretty good.
I don't know. Can you guys hear this?
Well,
I don't know what this test means. I'm just doing what Jay does,
Well, can we be fair? Your mount is actually on a different desk than the one you're hitting.
This is true. Don't judge me, Jay. Don't judge me. I don't like it when you judge me.
Okay. Let's just talk about Lizard Squad DDoSing Xbox Live. We already did.
We did. We covered that.
Unless they did it after they were supposedly arrested.
Well, all I know is that all the tweets that I saw related to Lizard Squad came from Freedom Squad. So for all we know, they were just DDoSing the shit out of Lizard Squad and just like posting nonsense. I mean, I want to hear a confirmation. I'd like to see like like an actual media follow up that they actually have the people in custody. That would be cool.
Custardy. I like custard.
In custody. That's what I heard when I said it too. Custard.
All right, I'm heading on over to the Tech Talk Weekly, which is the official Tech Talk Twitter. If you guys do the Twitters, you should head on over there. If you don't,
that's where you have to ask your questions from now on. Ask Tech Talk is now done there exclusively.
Yeah. So Jerry and I both have access to it. Hey, we're up to 400 followers on there. Nice. If you guys have any questions about Tech Talk, if there's anything you want us to talk about, if you guys are going to be like, hey guys, is there a Tech Talk tonight? You can head on over to the Tech Talk Weekly, where we will be putting up only Tech Talk related stuff. So Jerry's not going to be like, "Hey guys, check it out, poop nap on the Tech Talk Weekly," although he might. Now that I think about it,
Jerry's we do have a question though.
Oh, go.
And the question is directed to me, and it says, "How are you holding up after MS, the Microsoft?"
Oh, I thought multiple sclerosis for a second there. I was like, Jerry, you didn't tell
Jay,
me.
I haven't told you yet. God, that isn't supposed to be public. No, sometimes I feel like it though when I wake up. Oh my God! But no, after Microsoft, I'd say I'm doing pretty good right now. Things are going all right. I'm still the hardest part about not working at a job that's like 9 to 5, wake up and everything is you start to lose track of time. You start going to bed later, waking up later. You have a hard time like running your life
when you don't work. Your schedule inverts. It's weird.
Yeah, it's pretty screwed up, and I'm trying to get that under control because it was getting to the point where, and I wasn't giving myself days off because normally you work like, Monday through Friday, and then you got a Saturday and Sunday to do whatever you want. And I was just doing something every day and getting sucked in every day. And it's like I went 3-4 weeks, didn't take a single day off. I was just constantly going. It wasn't until my wife like approached me and she's like, "You're always stressed and you're always working or trying to figure stuff out."
Yeah, man, you just gotta let it go, man.
Stop moving, Jay.
I'm not moving.
You're not moving. Are you holding perfectly still? Because your camera says you are.
Oh,
at least the one I see. It doesn't matter. I think the stream can still see your other camera, right?
Yeah, that's just wonderful, wonderful world of Skype.
What is this? Oh my God, this is the funniest picture ever. Okay, you ready for this?
Oh,
you ready for this? Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this. Here, I'll tell you. It's like, remember information assurance, guys. Only a commie can use default password. They're logging in with username admin password to Sony's site, and it's like, congrats, login successful.
Jeez.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm retweet. That gets a retweet on our channel. It does on the Twitter feed. Let's get it.
Rob Flo says Linus is better. Well, good news for you is he's on tomorrow. So why don't you go ahead and sign off till then?
I know if Linus is better, why is he even here? I don't get it.
Well, he gave us a chance, and I'm glad that he thinks that Linus is better.
Thank you for giving us a chance, and I'm sorry that we have completely let you down. But Linus is a friend of both of ours, so
that's like saying that computer's dumb. This computer's better. It's like, well, as long as it's a computer, I'm fine with it. Now, if he was like PewDiePie's better, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, PewDiePie isn't better than us. Come on, he's only, all those subscribers are from a bot network. I heard from somebody somewhere.
Is this a loop?
Oh, now we got everybody over in chat talking about Linus remaking his show and pulling his man card. Guys, Linus is our friend. Okay?
Linus remaking what?
He is our friend. We do not bash Linus.
You said Linus remaking what?
Oh, just over here, Pot Pressure said Linus should remake this show. Oh no, he's actually giving him props for that. Never mind. He's dissing us in that one. Oh, Linus is robotic. God, you guys, snap. Why does the chat always turn into somebody's better than somebody else?
I don't know. But what's funny is even the channels that they hate, if all of a sudden they just quit, they would be like, "Oh, why aren't they making videos?"
I know, they'd be like,
anymore?
"Oh, why did they go away? Oh, maybe because everybody told them they hated them and they left and went and did something else with their lives."
The worst thing about YouTube is the YouTube commenters.
No, it's true. It's true. It's like, because it's that whole thing that's like death by 1,000 cuts, right? It's just everybody starts naysaying and then like if you ban them or block them, some of them come back and they're like, "No, I was just giving you honest, constructive feedback." And it's like, well, but you use the word retard. Like, it's like, I'm serious. Like, why?
You guys are stupid. You should probably die. And then you're like, "Oh, okay, ban." And then you get an email. Why'd you ban me?
I'd kill myself. Oh, but that's constructive feedback.
You know what's funny is all the messages and emails and stuff that I get from people that are like, "Why'd you ban me?" I'm like, I don't even know who you are, but I'm sure I had good reason.
Yep.
Anyway.
No, I actually get that a lot now. I get a lot of people that send me emails and they're like, oh, I got banned on Facebook. So I reply back and I'm like, well, why did I ban you? What did you say? Oh, I don't know what I said. No, you know what you said. You know.
Dude,
Tell me.
I just looked at that picture you put up of the North Korea Sony thing. It almost looks like they're using a piece of carpet as a mouse pad.
Oh, on the picture?
Yeah. Why does it look like he's using a little clipping of a rug for a mouse pad?
They probably are.
Aye.
Whoa,
All right, guys. We need to source some topics from you guys. So,
yes, topic us up.
our
Oh, well, I have a drink. Of
what's
my
on
water.
your? Do you have any tech stuff on your Christmas list?
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, I created a whole Amazon wish list.
Oh, I'm not talking about for the public to look at. I'm talking about like your family and stuff.
Not really.
You really made a public wish list for people to buy you things like you need more things?
Yeah. Didn't you?
No, I've never put up an Amazon wish list.
Why wouldn't you? It's actually a really good idea.
Because I don't want my followers buying me anything. That's what the companies are for.
Why not?
Yeah. You guys, see the divide here, right? I can't ask for things from my public until I'm over 200,000.
That's right. It's a size game.
No, I don't do the Amazon wish list thing.
Well, remember, this is my full-time job now, Jay. I don't have the liberty of a day job to go to right now.
Just because I have a regular job doesn't mean this isn't full time, sir.
Well, no, it just means that you have two incomes and I only have the internet. The internet's all that supplies me, Jay. All I get is the internet, okay?
That's a terrifying thought. How do you sleep at night?
I don't. That's the problem.
How much worse can I make Jerry feel right now? Let's see.
I know.
Could you imagine if everyone just stopped watching right now?
Day. Oh my god. Dude,
could you imagine if you got community strikes?
Jay's just sinking the boat for me
I
right
can
here.
see it on your face. You're like, dude, I'm going to give you an earful when the stream is over.
No. Well, the good news is I'm not 100% dependent on the YouTube channel, thank goodness. But
Oculus Studios, right? Or something like Occupant Studios.
Oh, did they wait. Occupant Studios?
I don't know. What's it called? I don't know. I never paid much attention to your gaming thing.
Oh my god. No, Opulent Studios. I don't think they're ever going to release the Rift. I think they're just going to endlessly tinker with it until everybody dies and forgets about it. Because you'd think once Facebook bought them, I thought they were going to bring it to market. I thought that was like done deal. Boom, DK2, tweak a couple screws, throw it in a box.
No, I'm not talking about the Oculus Rift. I'm talking about your little gaming thingy, your little company.
Oh, Opulent Studios.
Opulent. I can't remember what you were called. Occupant Studios.
No, so Opulent Studios, our graphics artist got a new job, and so did the senior dev lead. So they're both like super busy. So the project got put on hold again. So unless I actually start doing all the dev work for it, we're probably not going to release until a couple more months at least, until things calm down at their new jobs and they get into their rut and they have some free time. Right now they're in the proving stage, where they're at their jobs and they got to like prove that they're like hot shit, so they work a lot harder than they actually ever will in the future once they're established.
So Sean Davis on Twitter, on the Tech Talk Weekly Twitter, says that this is his first live watch of Tech Talk. I am truly sorry, sir.
Really?
I am truly sorry that this is
probably one of the best shows we've ever done. Best show we've ever done, hands down.
Talk about the scandals of Comcast. Why?
Oh, we got a correction here. We got to throw a correction out there. Celtic Fox came over on Twitter and said it's Finest Squad, not Freedom Squad.
I saw somebody else say that, but I didn't know any difference.
So. No, and I will agree with that. Yes, it is Finest Squad. So if there is, hopefully none of you went and like attacked the U.S. military, because I think they're the Freedom Squad, right?
Pat Bohan asked if the 5960X is more optimized for gaming or 3D.
Who the hell knows?
No, it is definitely a bit overkill for games, sir. Yes.
Overkill?
But if you can afford it, buy it. Sure, why not? I just realized this room is incredibly crammed.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's a small room. That's a deceptively small room, too.
Well, now that I have the studio lights and stuff in here.
I can put two of your rooms in my room.
Rub it in, Jerry. But I could put two of your houses in mine, though.
Bro. Turn about.
But I could put two of your houses in mine, so it's a little bit weird if you think about it.
That was that was straight up Doctor Who shit right there.
I know, right? Your room is twice as big as this one, but my house is twice as big as your house. But then again, aren't you in like one of those attic rooms?
I am. Well, actually, my house is like a loft design, so I'm like in the one room upstairs.
Oh,
it's like
see?
the whole upstairs is just one giant room and a loft. That's it.
Cheating.
A little bit.
I'm glad I don't have an upstairs, because when the ground shakes, the upstairs goes downstairs.
What is this? What? Oh, what's your guys' thoughts on hatred being removed from Steam Greenlight? What? Hatred was. How do I not know this?
What's hatred?
Hatred is a new game coming out. That's another one of those kind of. I think it's like a GTA style game. I was reading a little bit about it. Here, let me pull it up.
Yeah, remember what the feminazis did in Australia? They got big chains like Kmart and Target to not carry GTA 5.
I think it was a game that was. I mean, it's a really dark game. I mean, the whole point of it, I think, is to run around and just like murder the shit out of people.
You know, how about instead of getting mad at these game developers, you do your jobs and raise your kids not to go out and murder people?
So you can kill innocent civilians and police officers. How is this any different than GTA? Except for in GTA, you can also kill hookers and get your money back and steal cars.
Well, it teaches you about finances and budgeting. So yeah. GTA 5 actually has some
no,
merits.
I rank that right up with everything else that's going on. That's like that's censorship right there. I mean, it's a game. It's got a rating.
Someone says it's back on Greenlight. Like everyone's saying it's back.
Oh, is it back? Good. Damn straight. It better be back on Greenlight. You guys got me upset there for a second. Woo!
You know what makes you look like how you look like more of a jerk is taking something off and then putting it back. Like if you're gonna,
you're just admitting you were wrong.
How about you just think it through before you make a decision?
I still like. What was the game that got pulled? Remember, like, was it a couple months ago? A game got pulled because the guy was threatening to kill like somebody. He's like kill Gabe Newell.
He was threatening to kill Gabe Newell.
I remember that. Okay, now that is a legit reason to get your game pulled from Greenlight.
Yeah.
If you're like, I'm gonna kill Gabe because he hasn't published my game right or something like that. Okay, that's a reason to pull the game. Killing cops and hookers virtually. Now, notice I said virtually, folks. There is a difference between real and virtual.
I don't know. All I'm gonna say is that if the people who are worried about these games influencing their kids, they might want to really reconsider their parenting tactics if they're worried about games influencing their kids to that degree.
Yeah, if you're worried about games influence your kids, just don't let them play games. I know parents that do that. We're personally friends with people that they raise their kids and they don't get to watch television, they don't get to play video games or anything.
And my daughter right now is out in the backyard.
What?
My dad, it's perfectly dark outside. My daughter's outside digging a hole because I want to teach her character.
Yeah, there you go. And Xander, I mean, me and him sit down and play GTA 5 every night just so that I can show him like how money exchanges hands and teach him about how to be enterprising and avoid the cops.
And I'm not talking about little Jay. I'm talking about the baby. She's out there right now digging a hole.
Whoa, that's deep. Mm-hmm. A hole.
Yeah, the hole is very deep. You have to teach them early.
I love the delay on the stream. We're still getting tweets back. Hatred was reinstated by Gabe. Good. The mighty Gaben spoke. You don't pull down games just because you don't agree with what's going on in them. Just like, I don't get the whole Australia thing. It's like, oh my God, let's just pull all the games off shelves. Let's pull it here. This is what I don't get. Okay, somebody explain this to me, and I might just be like really dim here. But why is the GTA 5 on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 goes out, ships, no problem. Everybody can buy it. Everybody can play it. There's not a problem. But then they remaster it for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and now all of a sudden it's taboo. Explain that to me.
Because all of these idiots had just bought the new systems for their kids, so now they're realizing it because their kids are asking for it for Christmas.
Ah, okay, maybe that's what it is. Because that's what I didn't understand. I'm like, this is a game that is already released, already
like
sold
a year ago,
millions of copies. Yeah, I mean, it's like everybody's already beat it. Everybody's talking about it. It's been in every YouTube video. So why the hell is it now it comes out for like Xbox One and now all of a sudden it's a big deal? Rip it all off the shelves. That is really weird.
No, that's the way these groups of people have their hive mentality has always worked. You know, the hive mentality is, oh, this is terrible. I don't believe anybody should have this. Therefore, nobody should have this. So I'm going to write an angry letter.
Exactly. You know? That kind of goes against the whole, United States thing we were trying to do here.
I get angry letters all the time, and I know you do. And sometimes my response is nothing more than noted. Sorry that you're upset, but I'm not going to change anything.
No, I've gotten huge letters before about stuff that I've said in videos, and I'm like, sorry? Like,
no, don't even say sorry. Don't even apologize.
Oh, should I just throw? Okay, I'm not gonna. From now on, anybody who complains to me in email about my content, I'm gonna put a filter on you that automatically forwards your mail to like
FBI.gov.
No, they don't look at anything. Trust me, I tried. No, send it to one of those singles mailing lists where you get on the mailing list by sending them the mail. Just spoof it. Just set up a rule that just spoofs it and rewrites the mail header and forwards it on as them. Ooh, that would be smart because the mail system's still hugely manipulated. That's the biggest problem with email system is that so the SMTP mail transport and everything is all so old in the way the headers work and everything. It is so easy to spoof and fake emails.
Oh
That's why
yeah.
you get so much damn spam. They need to like redesign the whole. That you know what? Somebody should do that. Somebody should redesign email, like completely tear the whole infrastructure down. Get rid of all the SMT pop servers, all the IMAP servers, everything. Just dump the whole thing and start fresh with a new encrypted, authenticated system that's like can't be screwed with. That would be cool.
I think when it comes to the hacking and stuff, though, it's hard because you have only a certain amount of legitimate, firms that are trying to be, security specialists, and you have the freaking world trying to undo that.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be more eyes, more fingers, and more coders looking at tearing down that code than there's going to be people trying to patch it. So that's why, in my mind, these groups like Lizard Squad and all that stuff are never going to go away because they're the guys that are out there sending out those phishing emails that people are stupid enough to click on because they don't know any better, and that just strengthens their bot networks.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that really sucks about the whole hack. Like I remember back in my day, I'm so old now. Back in my day, hacking was actually like, having brute force attempts on systems, de-encrypting password files and stuff like the shadowed password files on
Yeah.
Linux boxes and stuff like that. That was like hacking, actually writing code and stuff to break in. But modern day hacking is all like social engineering.
Yeah.
Like all modern hackers do is try to obtain the information to log in legitimately, completely outside of the system. So they're like completely black boxing it. And I don't really consider that hacking. That's just like anybody could do that as long as they don't mind like, dealing with law enforcement, and they know how to go through a proxy server.
Well, it's like DDoSing isn't hacking either.
Yeah, I know everybody's like, "Oh yeah, this hacker group took down a server." No, they didn't. Some 12-year-old kid installed low Earth orbit ion cannon and ran it against a freaking bot network and a bunch of people's moms and grandmas boxes that don't know they have a freaking botnet running on there are thrashing a server from 1,000 different routers. I mean, it's not a big accomplishment. It really isn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the age we live in.
Yeah, we need the old hackers, at least they did it for like a reason. It was like, they'd be finding like an actual flaw in a system. And it's like rare to see those kind of hacks anymore. Now the hacks you see are all just social engineering. Oh, I called up, I guessed your password, or I called up and I talked the person into letting me in without needing your password and stuff like that. Like what
Yeah.
happened with Electronic Arts, when my account got commandeered by that Cat Pro Killer guy. He actually called him. He actually called Electronic Arts, actually had it on file. He called them up and said he was me, and there was a password on the account, and he talked his way around it
Yeah.
because they're like, okay, well, if you don't know your password, what's your birthday? Well, he went out on the internet and found it because, you can find anything on the internet like that. Birthdays aren't exactly something that people protect very well. And he's like, oh, it's my okay, well, we'll let you in without the password. So then I had to call, get that all sorted out and be like, okay, you guys need to put a note on the file that say that you can't bypass the password for any reason. They're like, well, what if you lose your password? Fucking what the whole reason of me having the password is so that I can't get the password without it. I can't get in without it. What are you guys doing?
That's why it should be a passphrase you wouldn't forget.
That's why I like two-tier authentication. I use it on absolutely everything now.
I
Every
do
single
too.
time I do anything with PayPal, anytime I do anything with my bank, anytime I do anything with stock, anything I even do with cryptocurrency, everything requires that they send a personal key via SMS to my cell phone that I must then enter. And it's rolling. And I like that. It's a little bit inconvenient, but it protects me. And ever since I started doing that about a year ago, I haven't had any problems.
Well, I'm just waiting for passwords to be obsolete and everybody's required to use passphrases. Because passphrases always have a lot more security level to them. But then again, people are going to like, what sentence did I write? But, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, though, because there should never be a reason that you could call in and talk your way around a password because that in itself should be a red flag.
Exactly.
It is what it is. I mean, that's why I don't even care anymore, like, on some of these games and stuff. Like, if something's not working, I don't even bother with it anymore. And there was one time I had to call EA, and I got some offshore, answering service, and it was like, okay, this is pretty terrible.
No, I've had that same exact experience. Like, I had Xbox Live actually triple charge me for Xbox Live once. They charged me for 3 years. and I worked for the company at the time. I called through tech support. I'm like, I work for the company. Here's my badge number. Okay, let me send you to another support. I work for the company with my badge number. Go somewhere else. And I'm like, finally, I get to this guy, and he's like, I'm sorry, our system doesn't have a mechanism in it for refunds. Once you commit to an Xbox Live transaction, that's permanent. I'm like, wait a second here.
You're like, I didn't commit.
Your system did the double submittal, not me. But he's like, well, even if we did, our system doesn't have a way to turn that back. But look on the bright side, you got 3 years of Xbox Live. He literally said that. So I blew up. I went to work. I wrote a huge email internal and sent it directly to the Xbox team. And instead of the Xbox team replying back and being like, oh, yeah, we fixed your stuff and we resubmitted anything, they just contacted my manager and told him to tell me to shut up. So I literally had my manager come to my office and he's like, stop sending email to the Xbox team. You're pissing them off. I'm like,
you're like, this is a major problem.
Yeah, they didn't even respond back to my original mail. They just immediately said, oh, we better contact this guy. This guy fell out of line. We better contact his manager. I mean, this was years and years and years ago, but still.
Get back in line. Yeah, it was probably in May, right?
But it still pissed me off royally because I exposed a very, very real problem in their system. And I found other people that were saying that they were having the same problem with double and triple charges.
Yeah.
And so
what's funny is you know those emails that you get, right? Hi, I'm so and so representing $8 million of offshore money, and we just need your bank account so we can transfer you $10 million, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my money. By the way, it'll come one of these days.
My mom got a phone call for one of those.
Oh, yep.
And she took the call, and because she likes to play with them, she likes to act all interested and be like, okay, no thanks, bye. Well, of course.
Oh, I do too.
But of course, they started massively hounding her and calling from new numbers and calling and calling and calling and calling and calling. And she finally was like, they won't stop calling. I'm like, that's because you answered the phone the first time. So she called back one of the numbers or whatever to complain, right? One, like anything's going to come of that. But then then she gets her cell phone bill and guess what? International charges because the company was in Jamaica.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, so I think the lesson she learned on this one is just unrecognized number. Just don't answer it.
No, the best one ever is I got the call. I'm sure a lot of people got them because they were doing it viciously. The Microsoft call where they call you and say that they detected a virus on your computer.
Oh yeah.
They actually call you on the actual phone. And I got one of these calls one day, and it's like, "Hi, I'm calling from Microsoft," and I immediately start chuckling under my breath because I'm like, I know this is a bullshit call because I work for Microsoft, and I know that they would never call a customer like this. And they're like, "We've detected a virus on your computer, and we need to remove it. So can you please follow through these steps?" And I'm just sitting there. I'm not even in front of my computer, and I'm like, "Oh God, what do I got to do?" And I wished I had recorded the last one that I did. I wish I had my vlogging camera next to me because I led the guy on for 15 minutes. I was like, yeah, okay. I opened it up. Okay, I clicked my remote desktop. It says, okay, it said now, okay, I sent a request to your email. And he's like, okay, I haven't received it yet. Haven't received it. He said, can you send it again? I'm like, how do I do that? Just do the same thing you did before. Oh, okay, here, hold on. Let me send it. Okay, it says it's done. It says you should have it. And he's like, and you tell he's kind of getting frustrated. He's like, oh, sir, I still don't have it. He's like, okay, well, here, go download, oh God, what was it? Some RDP software. You wanted me to go install some second tier RDP software. And it's funny because they have backup plan after backup plan. Like they can't access you one way. Oh, go install the script. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to the site. And I'm not even going to the site. I'm sitting there. I don't have a computer in front of me. I'm like, okay, it says 404. What does that mean? Okay, no, type in the URL. What did you type in? I read it back to him or whatever, and I didn't remember what he said, so I read back something completely different. He's like, no, you have to go to this. I'm like, slow down, I can't type that fast. And I'm just messing with the guy, and the funny thing is they hang in there. Like, they expect you to be this dumb. They will hang, like, you could keep them on the phone for 5 hours if they think there's any chance of them getting in. Because
you're that one guy that week who answered.
Yeah, but same thing happened to my grandma in California, and I had to clear that all up for her. She had the same thing happen. Because once they gain access to your computer, the very first thing they do is they start downloading it. They change the admin password, start downloading all the information off your computer from like your Outlook and all your email programs so they can get all that stuff. And then they install a virus on it that either adds it to a bot network or they'll hijack it.
Yeah.
And what they'll do with the hijack, with the one, they'll just give you the computer back. They're like, okay, well, we've removed the virus. You have a good day. And then you're like, oh, my computer works again. But you really have a bot network in the background relaying emails for spammers and being parts of DDoS attacks. Or the other thing that they'll do is they'll commandeer your system and they'll put a thing up on the screen. It says your system has been commandeered by blah, blah, blah group.
It's an
files back. Huh?
There was one that claimed to be from the FBI.
Oh, the FBI one is a little bit different. The FBI one pops up and it's like, if your FBI is determined that your computer has some blah, blah, blah illegal content, you must pay a fine, call this number.
I know somebody that got that and actually did it.
Yeah, see, my grandma did the same thing for when it popped up and it said, it said your computer has been commandeered by blah 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 pirates or whatever. You must pay a fee of $100 via PayPal to this." And the only thing you could do on the computer was click the button in the middle that would open up Internet Explorer, hide all the bars around it, and take you to PayPal.
Yeah.
That's all you could do. And the PayPal link was to PayPal money to their account. And I was like, are you shitting me? My grandma actually did it, and it unlocked her computer. But then, of course, I had to run a virus scanner on it, and it was full of viruses. So even though they gave her control of the computer back, it still was commandeered.
No, it doesn't. I thought that the FBI one, I know the FBI one happened at like a BIOS level. You couldn't even get into the operating system. Like it almost like created a new partition with its own little OS, and you couldn't even get into Windows unless you were like computer savvy.
I haven't seen that one before. I've seen the FBI one before where it overrides the kernel in Windows. So it basically just boots to a blue screen and you got a wallpaper and that's it. Like it doesn't actually boot the core of
the one that I cleaned off. The one that I cleaned off was actually, it almost looked like an old XT screen. It was black with green text and green and red text, and it was very, very crude.
Crazy.
Yeah, and this one here was actually like you had to call this number and you had to give them over the phone like a prepaid Visa card, like $300 or something like that. And it was funny too because it basically was the FBI claiming like, we've detected that there's child pornography on this computer. Play a fine, blah blah blah, to stay out of jail.
Yeah, I know that's the whole thing about it. Is it's like, yeah, like you can just pay money to get out of any crime.
Right, it's like Monopoly.
Yeah, which actually is kind of true if you think about it. I'm just kidding. It's just a lot more than $100.
You can pay a bail to stay out until your court date. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Let's see here. GTA 5 is getting hate from parents because of first-person mode. I didn't think about that, but I don't understand.
Why do you get an eyeful during the hooker scenes?
Yeah, I don't really know. I actually tried the first-person mode, and I did. Other than in some places where you're doing shooting, I didn't find it that great. Like I was expecting it to be a lot better than it was. I played it for a little while. It sucks driving cars. Like
Really?
the lag on the inputs and stuff like that, like when you're driving the car, feels really, really weird. It doesn't feel natural at all the way the cars drive first person.
I wonder if that's a console thing or if it'll be like that on PC.
Yep. Let's see. Sean Davis asks, how do I start a YouTube channel? You go to YouTube, create an account, upload a video. Done.
Or you can just create a Gmail and then you technically have one.
That's right. Just if you have a Gmail account, you already have a YouTube channel. You just don't know about it yet. Jerry, is that a toilet seat behind you?
It sure looks like one.
Yes.
Looks like a porta potty toilet.
Oh no, this is my light, my studio light. Oh.
God, you got so many lights in that place.
I've got so much of everything in this room. Oh my god.
I've just got 2 soft boxes and 1 light up there in the corner.
Let's see. What is it? Let's see. Julian Foss says, talk about 5K monitors. I don't have one.
They're bigger than 4K.
I've only got 4K. If you want 5K, you have to buy the Apple screen or the one other weird screen that came out. That costs.
I don't care. I don't care about all the Ks. Now that I have this 4K screen, I'm like, I don't even care about 4K because 60 hertz is not fun.
Well, it's like I got 4K on a 28-inch panel, and it's the pixel density's like the text is tiny.
Yeah, I got the same panel right here.
The hell up. So
yeah, that's right. It's the same panel, and what I hate about it is I don't know if this happens to you, or you're running DisplayPort 1.2, right?
Correct.
Now, I don't know about you, but every now and then I'll boot the system, and the system is all of a sudden only doing 30 hertz. I'll have to reboot the system, then it will come back and do 60 hertz.
I've never had that happen. I almost wonder if that's a driver issue.
That's also happened to me when coming out of games. The game will be fine, I'll come out of a game, and then it's like desktop's at 30 hertz.
Yeah, I've never had that problem either, but I've only been using it as an auxiliary monitor. I only used it as a primary monitor when I did all my demo work, and I never had that problem. Now it's my auxiliary monitor. Way up there.
Danny Alfred says, Barnacles, you should guest host a Pimp My Setup. Didn't you guest host like 5 of them?
I've guest hosted a lot of Pimp My Setups.
I know.
I know. It's like I had somebody the other day. They're like, "Dude, you should be on the WAN show."
And you're like, "I've probably been on the WAN show.
You've
probably been on the WAN show more than Luke at this point."
Yeah, I still have a standing invite to go up there. I just got to get my what do they call it? The extended driver's license or advanced driver's license, so I can cross the border.
It's amazing what the different border situation is on your end of the country versus my end of the country.
Yeah, like if you want to go into Mexico, you just go into Mexico, right? Like,
yeah, the same thing. If you want to come into America, you just walk across into America too. Pretty much.
Yeah. So the border that we protect is the Canadians, man. Those are some dangerous some bitches, man. Watch out for them Canadians; they'll shank you.
They're dangerous up there, man.
I know.
They're kooky, all right.
Across the border.
They're
kooky. My God, some French people might come down and give us some good food for once. Oh my God.
God forbid we know good food.
Here's a question from Sasha. As an up-and-coming tech YouTuber, what type of content do you recommend me to do? I would say tech.
Tech, yeah, tech. Definitely tech.
Tech is a good way to go. If you are a tech YouTuber, you should create tech content. And to be more specifically, you should never ask anybody what you should do. What you should do is what you feel like doing.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. Do what you feel like.
You know, when people used to ask me like questions about how do I do a channel or how do I do this, how do I do that, I used to try and like very delicately like try not to hurt anybody's feelings. I still don't try and hurt anyone's feelings, but you know, I would kind of tell them, you know, well, you could try this or maybe try this. But then I realized a lot of them were like, but I don't know how to edit videos. And it's like, okay, look, there has to be a point where you stop and you look at yourself and you say, do I have what it takes to do this? If you can't even edit videos, the first thing you should be doing is watching tutorials on how to make a video and then worry about the content later.
Or just make really incredibly funny one-clip videos. If you were good enough that you could just turn the camera on and like, if you can do Vine for 10 minutes straight, you've got yourself a solid YouTube career. Like no editing, just cell phone that thing for 10 minutes and upload it. You're done. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not that funny without editing.
I know. Probably if we got to watch a raw video of yours, you'd be like, this is actually kind of sad.
I know it'd be like, hey, what's up, Nerdgasm fans? Jerry here, a.k.a. Barnacles. And today we're going to be reviewing this. It's a camera.
I don't know. If you're anything like my videos, you're like, hey, what's up, guys? JayzTwoCents here. And then, fuck, damn it. All right, what's up, guys? JayzTwoCents here. And what are we reviewing again?
I know. Lately, that's been me. Like when I first tried to do the Bitcoin mining video, I'm like, you know, hey, this is Jerry, a.k.a. Barnacles. And today we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency, specifically. Fuck, what coin was I talking about again? Bitcoin? Oh shit! Okay,
go try.
Then I say Bitcoin and make it like 3 more words, and I fuck it up again. But I'm one of those people where I have to get a pretty good amount out coherently before I want to use that take, right? Yeah. So when I mess up every 5 or 6 words, I can't just like start over at the 5th word. I have to redo the whole thing. So it's getting to the point where I probably said, "This is Jerry, aka Barnacles," 300 times before I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go play some Forza. I'm done.
You dropped the mic literally and walked
I literally
away.
Dropped the microphone. I was like, I'm done. Jerry's brain needs
camera.
a break.
That would have been a perfect intro for a video. It's just all these bad takes. You're like, fuck it, I'm done. The camera falls over, the mic drops, you see your feet walking away into the distance, and then it goes into your intro. Do it.
That's probably coming because I was so frustrated a couple nights ago when I was doing that. But
maybe,
truth is, I haven't been sleeping well. Like last night, I slept great. For the first time in probably 2 months, I slept a solid 8 hours. Didn't get up once. Boom. Went to sleep like 11 or 12. Woke up around 8. I was feeling great. Shut up. Put your goddamn fiddle away. Okay, your violin. Put it away. Put it away. I don't want to see it. Just saying that at a rough time, Jay.
Do you want to hear how my night went last night?
I don't know. Did you get lucky?
Oh wait, I forgot.
You just had a baby. You gotta wait, what, 6 weeks? 6, 8 weeks? You poor bastard.
Okay, so
that's the worst part about having a kid.
So this week I was like, okay, I'm getting back into the grind, you know, and Miss J is a full-time stay-at-home mom now, so she's taking the majority of the baby duties, literally, and so I stayed up last night and I worked, and I probably got to bed between 12:30 and 1, which is normal. It's a work night for me. I crawl into bed. All of a sudden, I wake up hearing, you know, the baby crying. I'm like, okay, that's normal, right? And Miss J is getting out of bed. She's getting ready. I look at the clock, and it's like 1:38 or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it was sooner.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, I finally get back to sleep. And then I wake up hearing, Daddy, there's a zombie in my room. Little J was like panicking, crying, climbed up in the bed. There's a zombie. I'm like, okay, all right, let's go get back in bed. So it's like 2 something. Go get her back to bed. Then at 3 something, I hear baby crying again. The baby crying wakes up little Jay, who comes in. There's a zombie in the bathroom, and I saw a hand in my closet. So she comes in, wakes me up again. It's like 3 something. I finally get her back to bed. The baby's back to bed. And next thing I know, there's like a silhouette standing at the end of my bed. That's always terrifying in the middle of the night, first of all. So then I'm like, what? There's a zombie in the bathroom. And she's like bawling her eyes out. And she crawls into the bed like, you know, like a panicked puppy, like scratching and crap the whole way. So Miss J goes and gets her back to bed. 5:45 in the morning rolls around. She comes in. There's someone in the kitchen. I heard someone in the kitchen. I think it's a zombie. And she was like freaking out again.
Oh, so, did she do like a Walking Dead marathon?
No, she's not allowed to watch any of that stuff. So I don't know where she was getting it from. But anyway, that was my night last night. So when you're talking about, like, oh man, it's been so hard to sleep, I'm like, don't care, Jerry. Don't care.
Noted. Oh, did I
There
not
you go.
take out my violin for you?
There you had the right response, right?
Noted.
I was hating on you, and you were like, noted. See, you're
Noted.
learning something. You're learning.
Hey, I learned something else too. So I was looking on Wikipedia, and it said that hatred was not only just added back to Steam, it was added back to Steam with a personal apology from Gabe. So Gabe never even gave any kind of permission to pull that game down. He apologized to the person. He was the one that got it put back up and apologized to them. So that's personally apologized to him. That's pretty good.
Danny Alford is telling me to lock Little Jay's door shut at night. Do you know how illegal that actually is to lock your kid in a room?
Dude, everything's illegal now. You can't even like spank your kids these days.
If there was something that happened, an earthquake, a fire, God forbid I lock her door. So from my side. That's terrible. What if
her room was fireproof and she had oxygen tanks in there? Then you'd be doing her a solid.
Then I'll be locking myself in her room.
That would be the panic room. There you go. Just make it a fire retardant room, put some oxygen in there, and it'll be the panic room.
We're in our perfectly pink panic room. There's a lot of pink in that room.
Yeah, luckily for me, Xander, he just sleeps. That kid is like a rock.
I don't know. Going back to the topic though, where you brought somebody asking, how to do tech videos or whatever, what topics should they do? Have you noticed an influx of these messages? Like, it seems like right now there's a lot of people trying to start YouTube channels.
No, there is, and I've actually been reading like some news articles and stuff that like kids because like it's come to that generation where there's enough YouTube channels, there's enough kids watching YouTube channels that they all aspire to be YouTube producers themselves. Just like kids, when they're kids, they want to be actors when they see their actors and actresses on TV. But it's more attainable than that, right? Usually you abandon those dreams because they're so unattainable. Oh yeah, I got to be in LA, I got to be better than everybody else. Okay, screw it, I'm gonna go work at Jiffy Lube. Not really, that was a joke. But anyways, or now YouTube, anybody can just create a channel. Now whether or not it'll succeed depends on a ton of factors. But I think everybody just assumes that they can create a successful YouTube channel.
Everybody can create a channel and everybody can make videos. It's just there's a certain element in there that only a few people have. And you seem to have found it. I seem to have found it. There's a lot of people who have definitely found it because they're up in the millions. And that's the added factor of luck. And that's the thing with luck, is you don't have control over that.
Luck is unfortunately a huge factor when it comes to this business.
But I'm just gonna blanket put this out there, and hopefully people will
listen. Do that while I put this on the screen, okay?
Oh yay! Look at that. That kind of probably was the zombie she thought she saw.
Probably.
All right. So there's a couple of things that I've started doing now when somebody asks me, how can I become a YouTuber and how can I do product reviews? I always say, okay, there's 4 things I say. 1, don't get into it because you want to be famous. The fame is probably the worst part about being a popular YouTuber.
Yep.
Don't do it because you think you're going to make any money. And don't do it because you think you're going to get free products from companies. If you've answered yes to 1, 2, or 3, number 4 is don't do it.
I completely agree with that.
That's what I've started telling people, because people are like, I want to get products for review, and I go and look at their channel, they have like 22 subs, and it's like, nobody's going to send you anything because they can open the door and be like, hey, motherboard, blah, 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 and reach more people than actually putting a video up, because, you've got to have an audience. People are interested in sending you product.
Yeah, because that's just it. It's like my channel. A lot of people ask me like, how what's my story? How did my channel start? Well, 1, it started as a hobby, nothing more. I already had a full-time job. I didn't even like monetize my videos for a very, very long time, and it was one of those things where I just did it for the fun. But I probably put $30,000+ into this room or more over that 2-year period of time, just playing around with technology for equipment for shooting videos and stuff. I mean, it was a serious hobby. I was paying for it. Right. But the audience grew to a point where now companies want me to review their stuff. Yeah. But I had to get me there. That was the thing is, it's like, they don't want to get you there. They're not going to like send you stuff so that you can like start building an audience so they can send you more stuff later. I mean, you got to go through the stages, right? Like you got the battery pack stage. Jay knows about the battery pack stage.
Yeah.
It's like that's the only thing companies will give you is battery packs.
Still
like,
coming in. They're still coming. I finally started. I started finally replying to all of them with a canned message that I've already got sitting in a notepad. Is Sorry, no longer doing any battery reviews on the channel.
I'm a
Thanks
sucker for
inquiry.
batteries, though. So, like,
No.
if the battery has the right set of features, I'll still review it. Like the one that can start a car, I was like, "What? You got a dude? My battery runs flat in my STI all the time, so I really need one of those." But yeah, you get what I'm saying, though. It's one of those things where it's like the battery companies approach you, and then later on you get approached by bigger companies and bigger companies, and then when you hit like the iJustine and PewDiePie level, it's like Chrysler's like pulling up and being like, "Here, have a Corvette," or "Here, have this $20,000 water cooled gaming machine." And
Yeah.
mention it once in a vlog, and we'll be happy because that'll reach 7 million people.
Yeah.
So from them, it's an investment. From a company, it's an investment. So they're not just going to send you stuff. That's a misconception that I hear a lot.
I never reached out to anybody. That was the thing. I guess I just had fun doing this for the heck of it. I had fun making videos and tutorials and stuff, and I'm gonna try doing more of those again. But I just had fun doing it, and they stumble across your channel, and the reality is they're looking at it from a selfish perspective because they want exposure. So you have to have exposure.
Oh, it's a mutually beneficial agreement.
Yeah.
I mean, it always is.
It's selfish on both ends because we need to be able to continue to make content. So we need topics and we need product if you're going to be doing a review site as well. And then they need exposure. So it's a win-win on a selfish level. I mean, the sad part is too, when you get hit up by some of these brands and you look at the product that they want to send you, sometimes your first thought is anybody going to want to watch this?
Yeah, I turn stuff down all the time.
Oh, I turn down more than I take because I can only take so much. I turned down the Water Force twice. I just want to point that out. They wouldn't take no for an answer. They're like, Jay, we really want you to do the exclusive review. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll do the review. And they're like, oh, and can you do a computer build too? I'm like, oh man, I don't have time for this. So anyway, first world problems I know, and I love building computers, but it does wear on you too.
No, it's true. It's true. And the thing is YouTube is a stressful thing. It is. A lot of people are like, YouTube's not a job. I don't know. When I had a job, I didn't have 100+ people coming at me every single day with a question.
Can I answer?
I might have 10 people, not 100 though.
I want to answer something on that. Here's the thing, and I know a good majority of our followers are older, intelligent, and they know this. But there's a good amount of people out there wanting to start a YouTube channel for tech, thinking that they turn on the camera, go blah, 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 turn off the camera, upload it, done. But that's not it. The amount of work we spend making the videos is trumped by the amount of time we spend writing emails, responding to correspondence. I don't know about you, but I have to do stats and analytics and impressions for the people I do videos for. There's an entire admin side to the channel that has to happen, and that takes up more time than it does making the videos.
Oh no, and that's what I was. People were asking me. I got the question that I was getting bombarded with a couple of weeks ago. Why don't you make a video every day? You don't work for Microsoft now, so you can make a video every day. Well, no, if you're a vlogger, you can make a video every day because you're not accountable to anybody but your audience.
Right.
But when you're a tech channel, especially one that's super diversified and doing all kinds of things, I mean, there's lots of deadlines and requirements and things like that that you don't have, and you need that downtime, right? So like you create a video, you get it set, you get it uploaded, and then you spend a whole nother day or two getting all your ducks in a row and get set up for your next run.
Yeah.
It's time. It's super time consuming. It is.
And there also has to be time in there for you to do things you want to do. You can't only do the beck and call of the companies that want to send you stuff. There's times where it's like, I want to do this video about, SLI scaling, or I want to do this video about, AMD, high-end overclocks and things like that. I want to do videos about the true bang for buck on CPUs and all of that stuff. Sure, people have already done that topic, but if you feel like you have more to contribute to the conversation, you make a video on it. And of course, people are going to be like, Linus already did that, but that's the nature of things, right? Everybody does everything.
Well, everybody has a unique audience too. Just some of them cross over, but not all of them.
But yeah, you don't turn on the camera, go yada 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 for 10 minutes, turn it off, and you're done. I mean, it's to get 15 minutes of video. It's probably, well, in my case, maybe 30 minutes of recording. In your case, it's probably 3 days. To do the actual editing for me is about
I'm not arguing, man. I will be honest, you guys. For me to shoot, on average, for me to shoot a 15 to 20 minute video, and this doesn't include my 30-minute videos, which is like every other video, to shoot and edit those things takes me an entire day from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep most of the time.
Yeah. And you have to give people, I see people commenting over here in the chat saying, Linus is a workhorse. He's like a machine. Yeah, he does have a team of people. So they handle a lot of the correspondence and stuff that eats up a lot of our spare time. But remember,
he's got a lot of people too. I mean, he's got a sizable team. I think he's got what, 12 people.
No, I thought it was 7. I think it's 7 right now.
Oh, is it 7?
Including interns. But
so 7's still a pretty good.
But remember,
pretty good
guys, he
course.
also has Tech Quickie, which is another very active channel. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much behind the scenes work that go to it. And here's the bottom line: if you want to get to a level, and I'm not going to say to my level because I don't look at myself as being that type of success like Linus. But if you want to consider being anywhere between like where I am or where Linus is, if you don't know how to run a business, if you don't know how to do your taxes, if you don't know how to do all of your accounting, bookkeeping, all of your deductions, forget it. Please forget it. Because if you continue to do videos and your channel continues to grow, you have to deal with that stuff at some point. And if you can't, quit now, because you're going to get yourself in legal trouble at that point.
No, and that's the thing I'm actually at and struggling with right now is that there is a lot of bookkeeping. It's like when you have a day job, you go there, they take out all the taxes, they take care of all your medical insurance, they take care of all your dental, all that. It's like now that's all on me. I am my employer.
Yeah, at the end of the year, Uncle Sam is like, "Okay, where's your cut? Give it."
Yeah. Remember those years, Jay, where you used to actually get a tax return back? Yeah, those are gone when you do this.
I still do.
Now it's then. Well, at the end of the year, you don't get a return anymore.
Remember
though.
this year,
your own business, you got to pay all your taxes at the end of the year.
Oh, I know that, but also too, if you run your business properly, you can at least break even. Or like last year, I took a loss, so I got a refund on my loss. But this year, I've got 2 kids now. Before I only had 1 child credit. Now I have 2, so that's going to help.
Deductions.
But yeah, I mean, it's
tasty deductions. Oh.
Still. And here's the thing, anybody that sends you product and stuff, they legally could declare that they sent you $300 worth of blah blah blah, and the government wants their tax cut of the amount of product you were sent. Think about that aspect of it. And now ask me how expensive it is to run a channel like this. Someone sends you a video card that's $800.
Yeah, because there's a difference between it being like a small hobby thing where you might make like a couple $100 a year, but when you make like a living at it, it's a whole different story. Like I've had to learn so much over the last couple of months, and it's almost like earth-shatteringly hard to comprehend some of the stuff that I have to do. But I'm gonna do it because I like this. I like where it's going.
Early Dabber says, "Don't file. Fuck the feds." I don't know about you, but I kind of like to keep the house and stuff over my head. And there's a risk involved with that I just don't take chances with.
Yeah, you don't want a government audit. That actually happened to somebody I knew not too long ago.
The hoodie string! Woo, somebody saved me.
Oh.
Someone told me to get my hoodie string because it was going inside the hole.
Oh,
thank you.
You just saved that hoodie. That hoodie almost was destined for goodwill.
They even said, "Jay, the hoodie string, get it before it's gone."
Yeah, no, not paying your taxes it gets you into some serious shit. Because I know I had a friend actually who he thought he was paying his taxes right, but he was selling tons and tons of stock every year when he was working at Microsoft, and he wasn't doing the taxes on the stock right.
That's
like he wasn't
income,
paying
man.
He wasn't paying the income tax on it. He was just paying the capital gains.
Right.
And he had sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stock. Went and bought like a house, a whole bunch of shit. And then afterwards, the federales came after him, audited him. I think and it was like 3 years later. It wasn't like the next year. It was like he had 3 years going into this hole before they got him. And so they wanted, I think it was almost $200,000 in back taxes, and he didn't have $200,000.
So they take your assets.
Well, he got lucky. He negotiated to get on a payment program, but they applied interest to it. So he's basically got to pay off that $200,000 a year over the next 10 years with interest. So it's like having a house payment or a car payment.
Yeah. Fortunately, and I learned this before because I had tax liabilities when I was a self-employed contractor for FedEx. The interest, at least on government payback, is fairly low. Like for me, it was like 3%. It wasn't too bad.
No, because they want you to be able to pay it. That's the thing. The goal isn't to try to like run you into bankruptcy.
Right.
And that's why they'll negotiate like a 10-year loan, because they're like, they'll look at the numbers and be like, well, obviously this guy doesn't have anything left to pay us back.
But then you default on it and they take your car, they take your house, they auction it off, and you get nothing.
And they don't want to do that because when they take your assets and auction them off, they're not going to get all their money back. Like to get $200,000 back. I mean, if they lien your house against the bank and everything like that, they might get it back, but you may not even have enough assets to cover your tax bill. That's why they'd rather you just pay it. They'd rather you to continue working and continue paying taxes, because if they ruin you and take all your assets and you don't have a job and you're homeless, well, then they've created a new problem because now they got to support you.
The last thing on that, I'm going to answer a question I saw over here on the chat.
Sure.
Basically, guys, if you want to do a YouTube channel and you just want to have fun with it, there's a couple of things I would suggest. One, don't accept product or money from anybody, because then you have to worry about the taxes other than AdSense if you start to get money through that. Or two, just do a gaming channel and have fun with it. But like I said, if you want to do it for any of those 3 reasons, fame, money, or product, please just do yourself a favor and don't even start unless you can handle the business side of it. Now, somebody over here in the chat, I didn't see your name, I apologize, but they asked why their tubing is collapsing in their water cooling unit. If it's like if it's like vinyl tubing
Somebody's
or
saying I'm wearing a satanic shirt. Like what?
I don't know. I see.
I don't know.
Is
I
it
just keep seeing in chat people are like, "Explain your satanic shirt." It's not satanic.
It almost looks like a Bump Hunter shirt for a second there.
Yeah. It is Bump Hunter. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, it could the plasticizer could be completely leached out and it's not keeping its flexibility anymore. There could be vacuum creating inside of there, which is usually means it could be pulling in air from somewhere. Basically, if your tubing is collapsing, you have to replace it though. It's time to replace it.
I have a water cooling question for you. Why do I have like jelly in my my reservoir?
You should probably watch the video I put up on Wednesday.
I took the cap off the other day. It literally looks like there's blocks of jelly congealed to the side. That's not circulating anymore. It's collected against the side of the reservoir.
Yeah, I'm serious. Find 14 minutes and go and watch yesterday's commentary video. It's about water cooling maintenance.
Okay, well, my next system's not going to be water cooled. I know a lot of people will be disappointed about that, but Puget Systems is taking on my build. Hopefully near the beginning of the new year, and they told me that they are confident they can build a quieter, faster system on air than you can on liquid. And they said that they told me they have 14 years of experience, and they're going to prove it to me. So they're going to do a custom system with low what did they say? The fans in it basically are be turning at low RPM but pushing lots of air, and it's going to be really silent. And they're going to like configure the firmware on the graphics card and everything like that to work with the flow of the system. And so I'm curious to see where they can get with that. So I gave them the green light and said, all right, let's do it. Silent air-cooled system.
Well, good for them if they can do it. I still call shenanigans, but hey.
Yeah, well, they claim in order to make it happen, they have to make a lot of custom brackets to mount fans at very, very particular angles. I mean, it's all laid out very, very specific.
Yeah, I saw their brackets and stuff.
They use their like FLIR gun and everything to figure out exactly how to mount the fans to make them most useful. But the thing is I want a double or a triple SLI setup, and I'm curious to see how they're going to be able to handle that without liquid. So I'm gonna throw the challenge out there and see what they can do.
They can do it, but it's not going to be silent. The gaming part of it won't be silent. Even if they have that 45 angle bracket and they have another bracket put right in between the three cards, they'll end up having to do exhausting cards or something, and it's not going to be 100% silent. There is still no such thing as an 100% silent PC when it comes to load. And the moment you start rendering on that, whether it's a 5960X, 5930, or even a Xeon, it's going to ramp up and get louder.
Did you watch the Puget Systems walkthrough where they had the machine on the bench? They were running Heaven and Pi on that thing, and it never broke 18 decibels.
You gotta understand, when you run Heaven or you run Pi, you bottleneck the graphics cards because the CPU is handling all the instructions for Pi, so the GPUs are not putting out that much heat. They're actually throttling down to like 30 or 40% usage. I've tested this so many times. So the GPU, you cannot run a benchmark like Heaven or Valley and like Prime 95 and think you're stressing both. The GPUs always become the lower tier of importance and hierarchy.
That's actually a really good point.
So the GPUs do not create the heat they do like if you're running Heaven without Pi. You're going to create way more heat with Heaven than you are with Pi.
Jay, you are the master. You actually make a really, really good point.
So when people were like, yeah, I did benchmark running Prime 95 and Heaven for an hour, it's like, good job. Your graphics cards really weren't doing anything.
Well, the frame rate in Heaven was incredibly high during the benchmark, so I just assumed that it was working pretty hard, but I guess I was wrong. I apologize, Jay.
Well, was it an SLI system?
No, it was just single card.
Yeah, well, if you run something like Prime 95 or whatever, I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing it on your system. You might solidify your...
No, Prime... my system's at a stage right now where Prime 95 would probably just kill it.
Yeah, I've tested this and tested this, and that's just what I've noticed, is if I run something like, let's say, Ada64, the CPU instruction sets go straight to FPU stress test, memory stress test, and the GPUs are basically told, like you would say, calm your tits, I'm busy. And the GPUs have to wait. So the GPUs never create the heat like they're supposed to.
I'll believe it. No, I'm going to bring that up because when we build my computer, I mean, I'll be documenting it at every stage. So when they're actually going through and building the computer, I'll be in their facility and during the motherboard install, the test, the benching, all that stuff.
The thing I can think is that the benchmark they're using for the CPU is not a complete instruction set benchmark like FP floating point unit and all that stuff. It's just a specific algorithm in the CPU, leaving the rest of the CPU to handle the gaming, which still does not stress the CPU like doing a full FPU stress test.
Well, I saw what they were running. They were running Prime 95. That's what they were using. So
okay, first of all, if you run Prime 95 on an X99 system today, you can damage your CPU if you run it prolonged. So I hope they know that at least.
Really?
That's become very well documented that Prime 95 damages X99 based CPUs if they're run for prolonged periods of time.
But that's bullshit because it's just doing floating point calculations.
But
That means their CPUs are shit if they're dying.
It's not that. It's the way that it's actually. I remember I read many articles on this. I can't remember the exact details on it because I didn't care that much.
Show me. Hey, if you ever find the articles, show it to me. But I'm going to call bullshit on it because there should be no mathematical computation that you can do that will damage a CPU.
Well, it's the
should
same.
be able to run it at max speed, full instruction, full tilt forever, and never blow.
But it has to do, I believe, with the way the IMC controller is handled now on the CPU, and the way that those were written at the time. They were for motherboard-handled memory controllers, so it had a lot to do with the IMC inside the CPU. Now, that's why you can say, "Oh, okay, my system is stable in Prime 95, but it's not stable in Ada, or it's not stable in OCCT." They're all doing the same thing, but they're doing it different ways. That's why you have stability in some and not others. That's why the only way you can say you have a fully stable system is to find full 24-hour stability in all suites. They're actually different.
Yeah, no, they're definitely different in their approach. I mean, calculating pi is completely. I mean, they all use different instructions on the processor, but calculating pi just seems like a very basic instruction cycled over and over again.
But
I'm trying to wrap my head around how
calculating pi does not fully stress your CPU like Ada64 or Engineer version would.
Oh, somebody said adaptive voltage. So maybe that's what it is. Is the voltage on the chip continually gets kicked up to handle the computation, and then it just goes.
And now the TJ Max, which is the max safe temperature on these X99 based chips, at least the 5960X, is a lot lower than it is, say, on Z97 based CPUs.
Oh, really?
Yes, or the like 4790K. It can handle up to 105.
Curiosity, did they say that did they say Prime 95 was killing overclocked CPUs, or was it even at standard clock they were damaging them? Because I'm wondering if on an overclock it was enough to push it over the edge, but standard operations wouldn't.
I don't remember the exact details, but part of me also thinks it has to do with the specific hardware combination too with some PSUs. I'm not entirely sure.
I could believe that. But that's the thing is everybody overclocks now. I mean, everybody knows, even Intel. I mean, when they sell their chips, they know they're going to be overclocked.
Now, I know Puget doesn't care about what I think or have to say, what I'm perfectly okay with, but I would ask them...
they do. They're good people. They'd care. If it held an ounce of any truth, they would care.
I would love to see how their systems perform in both volume and temperature with Ada64 Engineer running full tilt.
If you email me a link to it, I'll forward it on to them. Because, I mean, I know the president of the company. I've talked to him. He is the nerdiest guy you will ever meet in your life. He is awesome. He literally just wants to sit down and make the quietest, fastest computer in the world, and he will seriously do anything to get there. So I think he'd be the type of person where if I laid that down, he would like go and try that out and see what happens.
Yeah, I have no doubt that Puget Systems is extremely quiet. And I'm not even going to say... There's plenty of people that are probably like, oh, water cooling systems are always quieter than air cooled. And I've called bullshit on that many times.
Not mine.
You've got... Well, now think about it. You've got all that turbulent air going through all those fins in the radiators. A radiator can create more noise than anything else. But yeah, I'm curious as to how it would do with something like Ada64. Now, the Engineer version, there's a free version of it. They could use that. But I'm sure that as serious system builders and boutique builders like they would have a copy of it.
Hey, Store Brand just made a good point. He's like, J equals hardware, Jerry equals software, the perfect duo.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just true. I'm the one with the huge software development background, but you're the guy that's always cranking on hardware. I mean, I don't know the difference between an X99, X79. I don't know any of that stuff because I haven't followed any of it.
And that's I love that stuff. I mean, software is so boring to me. And I work in a software development office.
Yeah, software has always fascinated me. Software development's something that I've always just really enjoyed. Wow, we should start wrapping this up. Geez, 7:33.
Yep, I've got a Skype call to do tonight. I'm going to go and probably get a snack and then do that. And then, guys, I got a video coming tomorrow. It's about an all-in-one water cooling unit. I know all-in-one water cooling units are like boring and stuff, but this one's actually a bit different. So I highly recommend you guys go and check that out tomorrow.
And tomorrow, you guys are finally going to get... dun, dun, dun.
Bitman! Oh, it's Bitman.
You're going to get Bitcoin video.
It's Bitman, yeah!
You're going to get your Bitcoin video finally because I literally studied like every freaking thing there is to know about cryptocurrency. Maybe.
If Jerry can stop going off on runaways...
No, that's the thing is... No, I needed a couple days of rest. I really did because I was trying to tackle something that was too complicated. This is the hard part about making YouTube videos. It's like I don't want to I don't like making videos that are super hugely technical. That's why when I do the Codegasm series and everything, I'm very, very careful to try to do something that anybody can do, because that's what makes it appealing. There's a million videos out there that talk about like polymorphism and how to inherit classes and stuff like that in a way, and how to implement abstract methods and stuff to, like, keep sanity between developers. No, but I want to teach something that everybody can understand. Same thing with the cryptocurrency. I want to create a video where everybody's like confident and they can go, if they want to try mining, they can go and do mining. But I want them to have some information along with it.
The community is going to hate you. I've heard that diehard cryptocurrency miners hate people who divulge the way it works.
Really?
Oh, I've seen quite a few articles of like massive blowback with some of these like communities. I don't know if it'll happen to you.
I don't get why, because the way it works, it's actually a very, very ingenious
system. Don't go into it now. Save it for your video. I'm not going to,
because we don't have 8 hours. Yeah. But maybe that's why they don't like people going into it.
Real quick, UE4 Tutorials and Tech Tips says X99 is a crap platform. Spoken like, I don't know what. Look, I can render out 14-minute video at 20 megabit bit rate, full maximum depth in 5 minutes. I've never had a CPU crash. My overclock is rock solid at a 28% overclock. And yeah, there are some early adopter things you have to deal with, and drivers and chipsets that need to, or chipset drivers that have to advance and become more matured. But to say that X99 is a crap platform, yeah, that is probably the dumbest thing I've heard for the day.
And on that note, this is how we're going to close out the channel. You need to do something in Arnold voice, and I'm going to do something right after that, and then roll the outro.
Oh, do I need to do it first or do it during the outro?
No, do the Arnold voice. Well, you want to do Arnold voice during the outro?
I can give a word of wisdom as Arnold.
You do that during the outro, though, right?
I can.
All right. Then we're going to end the show right now. No, Batman.
He who go to bed with itchy butt, wake up with stinky finger.